Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you'd like to reach out to us, you can find us on social media. We're on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Casting Roles ILM. Our videos are uploaded on our YouTube channel every Friday. And for our podcast information, you can go to our website, castingrolesilm.com. But with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. So, ticket takers, after we've been now in Alyria for about 4 days or so, and you have been through many excursions over the course of your time here, from a night at a casino that ended with threats from a mob boss, multiple journeys to the Archmage's home with bodies in tow, going to a circus that you properly burned down and murdered the owners of, capturing...
They were bad vibes.
Change the statement.
Yeah, it doesn't change. They were bad. Capturing trying to capture almost a shape-shifted version of a leading politician who you then rescued from a dungeon-like expanse. What was the last one? Lord. Participating in a trial in which, thanks to some incredible observational skills from Marlo, you discovered was being...
Simply rolled a 12, I have to stress.
Yeah, but no one was watching him except for you, because he was in the corner of the room, and you were like, what is he doing? Discovered that a mage who you had trusted up until that point was in fact doing some weird magic on Yorian, who was under trial. Then you guys went clothes shopping for a masquerade ball, got your fantastic outfits, and were joined by Princess Alora and also Ogun, Abel's father, and ended the conversation with Ogun asking for the room, Xenox Thorn stepping out of the room, and he turned to each of you and said, we need to talk about how to get the princess out of this country. So, ticket takers. With that news kind of dropping, what would you like to do?
I'm going to ask my father, why do you think it is best that Alora leave Alyria?
Well, I will let her answer that question. It was her idea. And Princess Alora kind of steps forward. Well, as you know, I broke into Yusef's office, gathered some information for the ticket takers as to his motivations and what he was doing with the trial. With the news of Vicus being named as a potential backer for Yorian, clearly probably something that was not true. Yusef has been dropping some very interesting conversational hints to me, and I saw some information in his office that led me to believe that he intends to end my betrothal to the prince.
Yeah, that tracks.
And he's mentioned the name Kratos Hawk to me several times, and there was a mention in his office of Kratos Hawk being a good match for a royal. And so I think he might be attempting to change the order of my marriage. Not that necessarily this doesn't leave the room, of course, that Vicus is not exactly the man that I envision myself marrying. Kratos is known for being quite... how do you say, rough.
Well, why don't you just marry Jury?
Come on,
I'm not in the room.
we can't just marry off Jury.
Jury's like outside the room already, which is so funny.
Ogun speaks up and says, well, quite honestly, if she's what you seek, asylum in Nuevia, it would cause political turmoil, but then she could marry who she chooses, whether that be Vicus or no.
Not to mention that Yusef is planning on Kratos Hawk taking over the Radiant Legion and kicking what's-his-name to the curb.
What?
Kratos Hawk.
Oh, that is the first time you heard that.
Actually, I think you did.
I
mentioned
did tell.
that
You did,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
it to us. Like you did. You didn't just. Yeah. We were like we caught each other up on everything that happened in the trials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we would know this.
Alora will, after this morning's very quick end to the day of trial, Lunaria seems to think that the trial is going to go forward as planned, with the evidence already gathered, with no final questioning of Yorian. So whatever the outcome would have been will probably still be the same.
How can that go forward?
There's not enough members of the Curia Regis to overpower the wing of Dane. Thordan is too easily swayed, as good of a ally as he can sometimes be. It's hard to keep Darkhound focused on much, and so it comes to Anali and Lunaria.
I wonder what Thornton would think about the fact that he's getting replaced.
Be a question of being able to convince him whether that was an accurate portrayal of events.
Do you have copies of the papers?
It is not something that Yusef wrote down. I believe it's been hushed conversations and nothing in writing.
There's a room with a zone of truth in it. It's very easy to go down there and just, here's what I heard.
It's true. Whether or not Yusef would allow the cleric to be used to activate it or not would be a question.
Who said it? Who said that we had to ask Yusef?
That is something that I'm capable of. Or Anzel is the risk breaker's truth bringer. Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is Yusef's intention to wage war on Nuevia, I do not want to be used as a tool in that political gamble. And I believe that ending my betrothal and then marrying me off to Kratos will be part of that.
Do we have a time frame for this?
I imagine they will not make any move until after the king's birthday in order to not upset things more.
So do you want to leave before or after the king's birthday?
We could potentially use the commotion of the masquerade ball as I don't know, I could say I would like to spend a final day with my friends before you all head off to other parts. I'm not quite sure. I also understand that leaving the country may leave Nuevia open to more threat.
Yes. We must consider the fact that you seeking refuge in Nuevia may play right into the hands of what they are trying to do in implicating us in these stirring of civil unrest.
Ogun kind of leans forward. Well, from the what has been brought out in front of the trial, the attack on the airship, the subterfuge that whatever arms Vox Populi had within the rift are of Nuevian make. I believe that they probably have all of the evidence they need to wage war, regardless of whether we take the princess or not. That would be a final nail in that coffin. If Nuevia is ready for that potential outcome, Alora has been as much a daughter of our kingdom as she has been of Anovir. We protect our own. That is the Noavian way.
By no means am I suggesting that we abandon Alora to Yusef's plans. I simply think we need to use this as part of our strategy. Perhaps we can use the fact that Alora is leaving the kingdom as proof that the underhanded plannings of certain members of the Curia Regis was not in the best interest of the people. Perhaps that will bring some to Nuevia's defense, knowing that the princess herself is not siding with those who currently are in power.
They'll probably just blame her connection to your family. If I had to guess, I'll probably just say, you know, she's a young woman. She was easily swayed. She doesn't know what she's doing. It's kind of what they, pardon Alora, it seems to be that's kind of what they do already.
I think that is an accurate depiction. My decision to leave would probably only serve to awaken my brother to the true depth of what he is walking into in the next year.
That's assuming he gets to walk into it in a year's time.
Yes,
which I don't see Yusef doing. To me, it seems the biggest problem is Yusef.
Who would, I guess I will ask this out of character. I think Mara would know. Say the king takes the throne.
Yes.
Next year. King dies. Who gets on the throne?
Well, so the whole, like the history of the Curia Regis, even though Alora is older than her brother, there was an early establishment of law that they believed that the Anovirian line that's in the Bellinor family line was blessed on the men. And so it would have been vicus if they had gotten married. So
then if the king dies, it would be Kratos Hawk. If Alora was married to Hawk.
Yes, if Alora was married off to
Kratos
Hawk, then Kratos would become king.
Mark points this out to the group that is probably what they're setting up, or could be.
Yes, and Kratos has made quite a name for himself as someone quite capable of waging war.
Still believe that when we do this, it would not hurt our cause to spread the word far and wide exactly why the princesses decided to part ways with the royal court.
Ma, I mean, you do have connections at a local paper, do you not?
I do, and I was just about to bring it up.
Yes.
So, Alora, if you wanted to write a declaration letter of why you're leaving, and, you know, maybe not actively name names if that's not something we think is smart, but at least to say something and hopefully reach the people. It could make them act faster, but it could hurt them. And they're already acting pretty fast.
Yes.
So,
yeah, my guess is that the weeks following the king's birthday will be quite momentous. So perhaps, yes, turning the people's attention to something would distract the Curia Regis for a time and maybe slow their machinations down.
I like that plan.
If they have to deal with angry people, they do have to deal with something that isn't what they want.
Juridan, do you believe your friends could potentially provide
Jury left the room, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, Jury's like super not here.
But he's just outside the door, so I mean, like...
Yeah,
perhaps we can ask Judy if
can I
her former crew could add
I think we need to catch everyone up real quick on the trial. Can I go to the door and try to be like, Jerry, can you come here for a second?
Just really quickly, 1 second. Yeah.
I wanted to say, can I roll a perception just to make sure we are not being eavesdropped on?
And then, Jordan, you do notice that when you enter back into the room, that Ogun puts a respectful amount of distance between himself and Abel.
Oh,
he was perceptive enough to pick up on your discomfort. Yeah,
that's so sweet.
Jerry looks like so it's almost like when you first met them, where they had that very like fake expression on their face. You would know at this point that it's like a kind of like a mask. So they seem composed. You probably understand they're not.
Well, you rolled a nat 1 before.
I rolled a nat 1, so like my eyes.
So
are
we like all
like,
know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, I think, just put a hand on Jury's back, and recap what happened at the trial.
Sorry about my lack of professionalism. It's hard being back in a city.
Kaimana holds up an absolutely filthy rag.
I'm good, but thank you, buddy.
You have the handkerchief that Xenox gave you, so you're good.
Oh, yeah, I'm holding on to that.
Yeah. Oh, Xenox gave it to Jordan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a not natural 20 for perception, by the way.
A dirty 20. Yeah.
So let me apologize again, Princess Ogun.
Yeah.
Let me know how I can help.
I think it's important to say what happened at my part of the trial today.
I forgot we don't know this yet.
You don't know that.
So much happened.
All right, drop it. Drop it off.
So I just kind of go through the questions they asked me, how it was all Nuavian targeted and trying to set up Nuavia, trying to set up Abel. What I said, how I caught Rylus spell casting, and then the fallout, and what Yorian said before he was taken away.
I got a 23 deception to not react this time, so we're doing better.
Can I roll an insight check on Jury, because I do think
see if you
that
pass
Mar would actively be checking in on Jury.
Good.
Oh.
Can I roll one too? I kind of want to.
Go ahead. See if you beat a 23.
I don't think I can, but.
Go ahead.
Just to say that
Maybe you get a net 20.
Insight.
Just checking in on her.
25 on insight.
Marlo picks up on.
You're like, Jury, like I said, seems really composed and like they're fine, but you see like their hands are shaking.
I don't react because I'm not gonna do anything that would call out the fact that this is emotional.
Yep. But to everyone else, they seem like, oh, it's another Yorian thing. I can handle this today, but
cool as a cucumber. Just
yep. That's quite the development.
What do we? I guess I look at Alora and Ogun for this. Do we know what punishment, like what sentence Yorian's gonna get? I mean, are we looking at prison? Or what?
They would not. They would not gift him with martyrdom. I do not believe. So rotting away in a prison far from the eyes of the people would probably be the greatest punishment for a member of Vox Populi.
That's what Esper wants him to do too. Esper wants him to radicalize more people, and criminals are easy for the message that they want, which they are not Vox Populi, just to be clear, just so that we're all clear on that. There's something else, more sinister.
There has to be something to be done. There's no way that, knowing that he's been manipulated this entire time, that his trial could continue and it be called just. There must be something that
Josh,
made he be challenged.
Who Okay, so the room was the Curia Regis setup.
The Curia Regis, yes.
Yorian, Victor Rylas, Volmir.
Volmir Rylas.
Alora and Ogun. Was there literally anyone else in the room? Oh, and then the shadowy
The
figures.
triumvirate, the 3 judges, yeah.
And no one else was in that room.
No. I mean,
The cleric.
No one else was in the room where it happened. Yeah. Oh no!
Oh no!
I mean, it's a very, very small, contained.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we know that the Victor's tower is anything.
Volmir.
Sorry, Volmir. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Victor is dad. Volmir is son.
Volmir's tower is gone. Yeah. Soros, what are you gonna say?
I see one solution to this, but no one's going to like it except maybe Marlo.
Oh, why me?
Because you're practical.
I appreciate that.
The problem here is Yusef. Yusef is driving all the machinations.
Yusef, I think, is acting on orders, but yes.
Soros, what does takedown mean to you?
Any number of things. It does not necessarily have to be death.
I can break into his room tonight.
But I think didn't we learn?
We can go right now. I'll roll up to the castle. Let's go.
Did we not learn with Whistleton that doesn't matter to these people?
Well, that's where we use. We didn't expose Whistleton.
Or who was it? Yeah.
Yeah,
that was Mark.
To be fair, that was an affair.
Yeah,
I think
being able to bring proof of treason and take it to multiple broadsheets, and then confronting in the Curia Regis to force Thornton and some of the others to go, here's the evidence. This guy is doing this.
We would need to find evidence that directly connected. Right now, the villain of the trial in the eyes of the Curia Regis will be Volmir. So evidence directly connecting Yusef to Volmir perhaps would be useful.
And Volmir's tower is gone, so there's only one place to look for this.
Yusef.
Do we know if Yusef's going to be occupied at that gala tonight?
I don't believe that he will be in attendance. He'll be preparing for the parade and the festivities. I believe the Curia Regis's representative is Dane and Talo.
Good. They get along great.
Does Yusef have a house, or does he live in the castle?
Yusef has quarters within the castle.
Okay. So we only have to search one area.
And we have a key to the area.
He does not have he does not have land or a place in the bow.
Shuri?
Yes.
I'm going to suggest something, and you can. This is a suggestion, and I don't want you to feel pressured either way. Esper seems to know a lot here, and I don't think that we can get information out of her just rolling up on our own. Would you want, if we drop that name to the risk breakers, that could very much help get them on our side and not just Bolton and Enzel.
I have to make sure she's not able to expose Iris if we do that. But it's not going to change the Vicus connection.
No, but it might do something. If people are just allowed to run around as they will, we already know that they're planning something else on the day of the king's birthday.
You're right.
So we're
not sure what that is.
I could contact Iris and see what she would know.
It sounds like we need to raid Yusef's and Tarlo's, because if we can find something connecting all of them, we already have the information on Uriel, the fact that he's in conjunction cahoots with the death cult.
Uriel wasn't. That was the giant devil-like creature pretending to be him.
The Slod was with the death cult. Dane is with a priori.
Right, but anyway.
Yeah, we have two different documents. Yeah.
Well, I know. I was talking about fraying him, but
I mean,
I don't think we have to frame those people to get what we want. I don't think we're going to find anything else on Whistleton. I think from everything I know, from everything Dane's letter said about him, he's a pawn. Not a pawn. I mean, obviously he is a tower, but
being used as a pawn.
You effectively raided his house with the rolls that you had when you were rolling over his stuff.
But we discussed potentially there be something in his office. And if anyone is going to be,
I went through his office.
Yeah, we went.
No, in the event tonight.
The museum, yeah.
The museum, his office there. And if anyone is going to be stupid enough to write something down, it's going to be Tarlo.
Yeah.
But this all depends on us finding something. And if we don't find something, we're still left out in the wind on this.
I like my chances with Yusef better. But Yusef getting caught in Yusef's place is pretty bad. I think the risk of that is really, really bad. But I want to do it. That's not going to stop me from doing it.
Could we come up with a reason why you would be in the castle?
And we have my hat of disguise. You could be someone else.
You could be Alora.
Sure.
We also have invisibility.
I can do whatever. I can get. I mean, I'm pretty stealthy.
Me and Mar were a pretty good combo the other night.
A pretty good combo. I think if I can be someone else, if I get caught, hopefully it would just be by Yusef and I can talk my way out of it. But, anyone getting caught in Yusef's quarters, I think is bad.
The only caution I might suggest is that if we're planning on taking any information from Yusef, it should be when we plan to use it. His noticing any information being missing would draw attention to activities.
Yeah.
So when do we want to use that? If we get it.
Well,
we have to take it that night. Right? As soon as possible.
we know that after the celebrations, they do plan to move pretty quickly. So
we either take it tonight and do them first thing in the morning, or we take it tomorrow afternoon and reveal it at the king's birthday to the king.
It might not be a bad idea.
Let's go tonight.
What we know to a room full of the most rich and influential people in Alyria.
Does that mean we'd still be...
I just don't want to give him time to prepare anything.
Are we
I want to blindside him.
Yeah. Do we still plan on taking Alora out of the country if we do this?
Yes.
That may be necessary, yes.
I mean, we've already got targets on our back from these people.
I mean, we are moving in a direction.
It's just going to get worse for us.
Yeah.
Removing me from Alyria will protect my brother's life.
Sure.
We're headed down south anyway. So
I'm sorry you're caught up in the machinations of these people.
Well, that's just the nature of a royal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Ogun kind of do the ticket takers have a way to make a quick exit if needed?
Oh, yeah.
We have the airship.
I think it might be a good idea to keep it manned and ready to leave at a moment's notice.
Oh, we've got a crew now, so no worries there.
I have the sending zone that we're going to give to them for alternative plans, which could be used to come get us right now.
And if we need to get the princess on it fast, I can always dimension Doris onto it.
Yes.
It would leave us a good amount of time, too.
And if need be, we can call in some aid. And he taps his necklace, which, Abel, you know, means your mother.
Ooh.
I'm calling
his mother.
Hopefully it will not come to that. I think a lot of this will depend on how stealthy Marlowe can be, and we all know that that's something that Marlowe excels at.
If Marlowe, perhaps you scout out the position and make note of anything worthwhile, and then on the day of the king's birthday, while Yusef is surely indisposed, you make a move to remove those objects then. And a trusted courier can carry them to the dispatch, along with my letter. I believe one of your Vox Populi friends is in the castle, Juridan, that we might be able to put that into task with.
I don't know if we can trust them. It seems that all of the Alyria sect is under Esper.
To be fair, he got the key.
What do I know
Alora,
about this? Do I know anything about him, Josh? The specific person? It's Devin, right?
What's it? Devin. Yeah, so go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Okay, let me see if I know Devin.
He was in Hightower, so
he was.
I gotta
Yeah, he was
and
in
he
Hightower
worked.
Jane.
What does a 12 tell me about Devin?
He worked with Alora, which I think is like saying something. I don't think it sounds like Esper's people would not do that.
12 is enough to know that Devin's origin stories within Vox Populi are Hightower origin stories, not Alyria.
Okay, so he's not an Alyria sect person. Okay.
He's working in, and the rest of you would probably remember this from your conversation with Devin, is that he was heading to Alyria on Vox Populi's command, while Jane was in communication with Iris. So you can probably build a connection there that like Jane was working with Devin, she's working with Iris, Devin.
They're more in that realm. Okay. I will relay that. It seems like
Julie,
it could be.
I'm curious. Esper would not benefit from Yusef's reign or his plan coming to fruition, would she?
Esper has some kind of other. Esper seems like she hates patricians and hates them a completely unhealthy amount.
From an outside perspective too, if you're someone who hates the patricians, you probably also hate the royal line. And Yusef, we know what we know about Yusef, but Yusef was a commoner. So if these people are commoners first, they'd want a commoner ruling before they'd want anyone else.
That could be the angle. I really can't figure out what exactly
very good point.
the deal is, but yeah.
Thank you, Judy, Marlowe.
Very, very difficult DC jury. History check for me, please.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
All right, dice.
You got this.
Come on, Jury.
Dice of Destiny.
I got 14.
Yeah.
Can I wait? Can I
flash of inspiration? Go ahead.
Oh,
flash of genius?
what do I add to it?
A 6.
Do I roll a d6?
No, you just add.
You just add straight.
Oh,
6.
okay, so
makes
20.
it a 20.
So we're just like sitting kind of like riffing back and forth, remembering history about whatever Vox Populi, and I just like sparkle like a memory for Jury.
It hits you kind of suddenly as you're thinking about Esper, you're thinking about Iris, you're thinking about them. You'd overheard them arguing and fighting in Hightower before.
Yep.
It was one afternoon where you remember like you'd walked into the meeting room for some reason and all you heard was the crux of the argument was that Iris still had faith in the crown. Esper had lost faith in the crown.
Yeah,
there it is.
As far as we know, Esper could currently be part of Yusef's plans.
Well, if they were trying to frame Vicus, it really seems like she was a big part in that.
Exactly.
Kratos would also be a commoner. Well, I guess Alora can give you this information then. Kratos would also be a commoner if he were to rise to the position of king.
It's
so our plan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was literally transitioning to that. if for a suggestion to get Yusef not in his quarters tonight or sometime this evening, Alora, would it be possible for you to distract him? Maybe wanting to talk to him about what happened at the trial today? I know he won't listen, but...
Perhaps I may be able to maneuver my brother into a position of conversation on that point.
Excellent.
Yusef's much more likely to give the king the time of the day than me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
More
Just
of
anything so he
yes.
won't. We know there's a
Waiting.
period of time for me to get in and get out.
I cannot guarantee how long I can keep him occupied, but
That's fine. Any amount of time you can give me is anything, just so I know that I won't open the door and we make eye contact. That'd be a little awkward.
The woman who helped dress me on the day of the dinner, do you remember her?
Vaguely.
She cleans Yusef's quarters. You could take her appearance. It might be,
okay.
If you intend to have me working as a distraction, it might not be having two princesses in the palace at once.
What's her name?
Her name? Oh God.
Yeah, Josh. No, this
go
NPC's
all the
name.
way back to Mars.
Well, I have to know this person's name if I'm gonna disguise
yes, you do.
them.
Gotta go all the way back to Mars session. You guys continue the conversation. I'll find it. Yeah.
Jerry's just very despondent.
I don't want to cut people out of this, but I wonder if I think it's just one person in and out, right? Just for stealth purposes.
If you are confident.
Whatever you feel like is going to be the best.
If I get caught, then I get caught, and I figure it out.
If you are comfortable, can I request that you take Anansi with you? Just in case you need assistance, you can contact me quickly.
Then we can rescue you.
Well, if I end up in a cell next to Yorian, we'll figure something out.
I didn't write her name down, so unless you have it, we're gonna retcon what her name is.
I don't have my other notebook, so how would I know?
No.
Okay, we're gonna say Magda.
Magda.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't like you going alone, but I can't exactly argue against it.
How far is the museum? Because we're going to the museum tonight, right?
Museum, and you two need to fight also, unless you plan on getting out of that somewhere.
Oh. How far is the museum from the castle?
Oh, well, the museum is like right there, basically. And Alora kind of points, I mean, you can't see outside the window, but like across the square from where Xenox's place is, the museum is very, very close to Xenox's shop.
We're how far from the palace then?
Probably about 1.5 miles, 2 miles.
Oh man,
because we're in the Prisma Quarter right now.
Yes, which is near the palace, but the palace is up on a hill. So in order to get to the palace, you have to go around and then up.
And Julie, how far can your dimension door carry you?
I think it's 500 feet. I believe.
Yes.
It's 500 feet.
Well,
$2 miles is about 4,000 feet. So.
I mean,
it's how many feet?
I think 2 miles is like 4,000 or something like that, isn't it?
I can make that in 4 minutes.
Oh.
You run a 4-minute 2 mile?
What?
He's got rat legs. It goes very fast.
Moving to 50, doing
but still
10,000 feet. That's 10 minutes.
Yeah,
because I can move 1,000 feet a minute if I'm going full speed.
Wow, you're incredible.
But I can also move pretty fast. I can go 90 feet a minute. Or in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So I can go 90 feet in 6 seconds.
If you're flying.
Yeah. Yep. So that's 90
I
feet.
can bonus action dash now.
Right, but I mean, flying as a straight shot, you wouldn't have to run around the mountain.
Oh, you got the boots.
Yeah, I can fly.
Yeah, you got boots of fly. I thought that was your backup plan if something went wrong. Just like open the window, just fly.
Yeah, totally. Well, actually, window.
Yeah.
Bro, invisible flying out the window? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Can Marlo go invisible? Because
Someone can make me invisible for an hour, right?
this is what I can perhaps. Okay, so the stone that Marlo bought me, you know, I can like put either 2 first levels or 1 second level.
Yeah.
Can someone else use it, or is it just like a charge that I can use to cast?
Can Anansi use items?
Yes.
Then yes.
Okay.
Since Anansi has the ability to use items, I would allow you to cast a spell in that item through Anansi.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Thanks, DM.
So I am going to. Well, I guess I would have already charged it probably.
Yeah, this might be something where Jordan invisibles Marlo because there's a chance that Marlo could do something that makes Marlo visible, and then having the second one to turn invisible again.
I am going to send the unbeatable combination of Marlo and Anansi with the stone. So if things do go poorly, you can cast a second level invisibility.
Okay.
You would have been so good in Vox Populi.
I'm sorry, I'm already committed.
I know, it's just a shame.
You're in an open relationship with the Order.
No.
It's complicated, is what our status would be.
Yeah, I think we all know that.
All right. Yeah, so
It's a decent plan.
it is. I get in, I disguise as Magda, get into Yusef's quarters. If I have to get out, and I think planning on getting out the window invisible is pretty good.
Yes, the royal quarters, including Yusef's, are on the higher overhang of the cliff. So going straight out of the window down the cliff, you would be in the Northern Theater District.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't know if I want to. I still have the sliced fruit of intangibility.
What?
To pass through walls, yeah.
Oh shit!
You have what?
But it makes you pass through everything too. How does it wear off?
So the etherealness bothers the crap out of me because you should be able to just drift through the floor. So
yeah.
I believe that your plane of like your foot plane remains intact, but you can pass through other features. Yeah.
But you can't choose when to turn it off, right?
I don't know.
No, it just kind of wears.
Didn't I have to like? Didn't I lesser restoration?
So let me
Yeah.
No, I think it just wore off after a while.
No, I think I lesser restorationed you as Beaker.
You did. Oil.
Yeah, Beaker lesser restorationed you to fix it.
It's the
You're freaking out.
No, you have to be on the blanket
for 1 hour.
Oh, it's 1 hour.
It would give 1 hour of etherealness.
And then Mark can't really
interact with things.
Yeah, I was supposed to can't paw through things.
Yeah.
Marlo needs to interact with things, so that's not a good idea.
Yeah. Oh no. I've summoned everyone.
All the time.
No. Summon animals.
Okay, Kaimana.
I'm up.
All right. When are you planning on doing this, Mar?
Tonight. Right? Okay. So if I don't get anything, then we go do backup options.
We should go together.
Okay.
So that I can open doors for you, and there's not invisible doors opening.
Great.
In the palace.
Okay.
Ogun will not be returning to the palace until the king's birthday, so I will help.
Where are you going?
Staying not far from here. Left the palace a few days ago after some tense conversations with Yusef. I thought it might be better to put some space between us.
It's probably for the best. So this is diplomacy completely breaking down between the Curated Regis and...
there is a discontent with the trade of Zephyr site, and Noevia's close hand on that material. Lots of reminders that the land was gifted to us in the beginning. But I would like to see them come take the Zephyr site.
That is not a battle that I would want to be witness to. Well, I am curious, are there those involved in the trial that would respect the fact that you as a Noravian diplomat would want Yurian further questioned before his trial is brought to an end? Especially
we know someone who's very invested in the Yorian trial.
Who?
Don't leave us.
Bolton. Bolton. He was on the whole thing. He's very emotionally invested in it, I think.
Unfortunately, Bolton has.
Does he have say?
He does not have much sway. You would need to
What's
convince
about
Brigitte Hale to request further questioning from the risk breakers.
Brigitte Hale.
Yeah, she's the main one. She's the head of the risk breakers.
We how like Bolton wanted a promotion, didn't get it.
We could at least get Bolton on our side and get him to get us in the room with her.
I don't think that'd be that hard to do.
Brigitte Hale.
He's used to hearing from us by now.
I think he's used to hearing from me once a day for some reason.
We could go ask for more lemon drops.
Oh my goodness. Gully down. You're being mean to your sister.
How could you?
But my question is specifically, would there be any people related to the trial that would be sympathetic to the fact that with the accusations levied against Noavia, that you would request that more focus be put on why was Yodian being controlled, and at what point were his words his own, or was he being manipulated to say all that he was saying against Noavia?
Your greatest bet might be Unali Troma. The Acumen are known for seeking truth above all else. I'm sure there's question being drawn about Lenaria with the Violet Conclave being called into question. So the Acumen are currently the only without stain within the Curia Regis.
What was that name again?
Unali Troma.
Mm-hmm. She's the head of
Master of Politic.
Yes. Mm-hmm. She's the voice of the people.
I hate that I can name the Curia Regis like all the way through.
I know.
They are without looking.
Yeah, Master of Politic is the voice of the people. She's like, her job within the Curia Regis is to speak for the people of Alyria.
I don't want the strawberry. Go lay down.
Oh.
But it's a good strawberry.
It is. It's not even yours.
No, that's Chloe's.
No.
Is that something, Father, that you believe you could work on? Getting Unali to perhaps request further investigation into the manipulation of...
I mean, maybe if I came with the information about Esper, I mean, that would make a pretty compelling case, wouldn't it? It's not going to do much for your Vicus situation.
If your friends need you for the museum escapades, Unali and I have had good conversations. I believe she is a trustworthy person.
But if you need to drop that, perhaps there is more information.
Esper Wynn, you said, of the Vox Populi of Anovir.
Yes.
Yes,
I know where
they are housed.
I know where she is.
Unali
and if she did this against Yorian without his permission, I have a debt to collect.
Yes. I can pass that information on to Unali in that conversation. She's probably at the Acumen headquarters, but I'd be happy to go and have a conversation with her this evening.
If it'll help your case. I just don't want Iris to be collateral on this.
At least it will slow their prosecution of Yurian, and the more access or more of a chance we have access to him, I believe the better it would play out for us.
Well, then I would go to the Hill of Voices, to the Athenium, to have a conversation with her.
Okay. Well, if we have a plan...
Sounds like we do.
Just pray to Mysterio that it all works out in our favor.
Yeah, and Alora, we probably shouldn't meet with you often before we leave. We want as little suspicion as possible.
Yes,
I have the sending stones. We could give one to you and keep one for ourselves, and that way we could talk without direct communication.
I can communicate with any of you.
Perfect.
Never mind.
Sending Claire.
Well, that's good because then we can keep like you mentioned before, we can keep the sitting stone with the rat.
Yeah, let me pull up her character.
And have our
idea. If we do need to get away,
we can have our mom come pick me up.
Oh. Mom is
Beaker. Hi,
I'm sorry, there's just a dog head in my screen.
That's okay.
It's so cute though.
I was gonna say it's usually Sully, so
yeah, we got a guest cameo today.
Lab. It's she's a sneaky girl.
Sending is 3rd level.
I believe it's 3rd level. Let me double check because I have it on my sheet. Yeah, it's a 3rd level spell.
It is. So she has. Okay, she can communicate 3 times a day with you. Well, actually more than that because upper level spells. So 5 times. So she can send it 5 times. So, yeah.
Ooh,
that's pretty good.
Okay.
Is there anything you need to bring with you when you leave?
My pack, my armor.
Do we need to raid Talo Wiston's home for expensive magical artifacts?
I believe that most of his artifacts that were in his home are now at the museum.
They are.
We should grab what's on our list of things to snag at the museum? The pole rings.
Are we stealing things? I thought we're just checking out
but y'all can heist.
I know, but like if we end up grabbing things because I know you guys.
There's
no one is grabbing anything at the museum.
Well, I believe that if people start to grab things, which I think is a reasonable.
We do have
assumption that people will just grab things.
Well, then the wedding bands are the only thing that's required of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Paul just wants information about the security measures, but if you all grab it, you grab it.
I think just look around, get a feel for it. Especially when no offense, your rogue is off doing something else, I would say maybe hold off the whole heist.
I'm horribly offended, but that's fine.
Sorry.
Our bard may be capable.
I believe you all are capable.
That sounded like a green light to me.
No, Kaimana. Listen, just because it's shiny, remember the new leaf, Kaimana? Remember the new leaf you had?
I realized that it's fine if I don't keep it.
Oh my god, that is not the lesson you should have learned. I mean, that's good charity, but no.
And yet it is the one he did.
No strawberry.
What is it called? The Lightbringer's Protector DM? Wait, where'd the DM go? What the fuck?
He's right there.
I'm trying to find out.
He's laying down.
What was the Lightbringer's Protector called? The
what? Oh, the Guardian? Regulus Pole.
Had all that written down.
It's in the other notebook.
It's in the other notebook that I was like, I don't have to bring that.
He's from Warsaw.
Do we think... Oh. So we're trying to collect all the stones, right? I know someone with a stone. Jury, maybe not today. Maybe when you feel like you have an extra spell slot to spend. That's not what a Mard would say, but you know what I mean.
We can check by the end of the day and see how we're doing.
Absolutely. I should get in touch with that person.
I'm very fresh if you would like me to take a shot.
Oh God, yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me think of what I want to say. Which I mean, let me check what I wrote down to say.
Hold on, and I have to find something.
Oh, it's so nice someone else being the messenger for once. It's kind of refreshing.
It's a good skill.
And these rings are the rings of Regulus.
Light
and
Regulus
right?
was the guardian, and Balder Loomis was the keeper, or was the Lightbringer. Yeah.
Balder
Loomis.
Ooh, he's.
Oh my God, this was so long ago. Oh no!
I started writing it down, and for some reason, I stopped. I don't know why I stopped.
You guys can keep going. I'm gonna have to look for something for a hot minute.
I'm also looking for something. I think I found it.
Oh, good.
Well, Princess Alora, it's been so nice to finally meet you and talk to you.
You as well.
You seem cool.
Well, it's under dire straits, but I suppose I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure, glad I could help.
Alora is probably one of the coolest non-Nuavians that you will meet, honestly.
And cooler than even some Nuavians.
I can assume that.
Perhaps the older ones, yes.
Well, Ogun kind of says, but I think I have an evening of plans ahead of us. I will not see you all before the masquerade ball, I believe, but we should. Are you
gonna come with us when we exit? Should we transport you as well?
I think so.
Yes, I would need to make a fast exit from Nuevia. To Nuevia. I should go with the princess.
Sure.
Just please be careful while we are apart.
Of course. The Nuevian god is always close by.
I was gonna say, who is Ogun traveling with? He's still got the.
He has
from the airship.
Yeah, he has like the Nuevian special forces, as it were, who kind of travel around with him.
Oh. I would assume they're pretty badass.
Shouldn't he have diplomatic immunity?
Yeah, he does, but in the event,
these people care about the law and abiding by it.
Declaring war on them would probably erase some of that. So
yeah, you're also not the right country.
Yes,
pretty powerful prisoner of war.
This is to a person I know, Aerith. I'm sure I have a sketch of Aerith somewhere in my journal.
Yep.
Flip to that.
Okay.
She's in Anavia, I think, somewhere. This is what you need to tell her.
Okay.
Hi, this is Moss' friend, Alora. This is a message from them. Hey, loser, you good? Still in Anavia? Reply or I'll kill you. Okay? I need that word for word.
Okay. So Alora prepares. You see her casting the spell. She says exactly what you say. There is a moment of a pause, and you all received Eris's response in your messages just now. So you can play it on your own. I'm going to play it on my end. So
please, I'd have no use for my furs in Anavir. The course remains the same. Not that you'd understand any of it.
I'll give you all a moment to listen.
Oh yeah, I can just.
Can't really hear it.
She says, please, I'd have no use for my furs in Anavir. The course remains the same, not that you'd understand any of it.
I hate her so bad.
That's so good.
I say out loud in this room. Oh,
just so you know, I was like, what are you going to send to Eris? Let me know. And then I sent it to Amanda, and I said, all you need to
Amanda
so I was like, Amanda, this is where you are. And you can choose to respond in whatever way possible to kind of hint at that.
Incredible.
I am going to kill Amanda. I'm going to say, you're so great at roleplay. I love you so much. I want to punch your character in the face.
Oh. Yeah. What does that mean? Where is your friend?
have no use for my furs in Anarvir.
Can I mean, I think this is a huge stretch. Can I any insight into what she might mean by that?
Oh, well, it probably won't even take that much because from where you're from.
Somewhere cold.
So it's probably somewhere cold. And because of Alyria's topography, most of Alyria is fairly temperate all the time. However, there is a location called the Northern Steppes.
Where's our map?
Where the major city in that area is Rheingerod. It's on an upper plateau between two mountain chains, and it's almost always snowy there. I mean, the other option would be like high on a mountain somewhere, but you immediately go to thinking about like the Northern Steppe region, potentially a place like Rheingerod.
I know we won't be able to get Amanda to immediately record this message response.
Yeah.
Can I get Alora to send one more time?
Sure, and I can come up with this response. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Go to hell. Keep the stones safe. They're coming for you.
Okay. There's another kind of pause, and then it comes back. Well, they'll have two more to deal with on my end, I suppose. Fuck you two. Keep safe.
Two more to deal with.
Does she have 3 stones?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
Sorry,
like...
how many does Tarlo have?
Well, if
that we know of, I guess.
Well, so I think when you were in his offices, he had.
He's collecting the weapons.
He had two weapons when you were there, so that's 2.
Okay.
I was thinking tied bonds. I'm like, that's too many.
So he has 1 now because that was the one. Eris took 1.
Eris took the one from the tiller. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The two weapons that he had in possession when you raided his offices was the wave dancer that did not have the stone, and the tiller, which did have the stone. So you can assume that he probably has the stone for the wave dancer and that he just hadn't removed the tiller's stone yet. But
I want the stone for the wave dancer.
She got that one. And she already had one for the weapon that she had.
Right.
Like her daggers had one. And so she's gotten one more since then.
Okay, the rest of you think about these stones? Is this
the stones of the subversion?
Yeah, it was the thing that popped up. It was like the idea was that if Ahriman was able to gather all the stones, because Lenaria mentioned it as something like he seems to be bouncing around from thing to thing that could boost his power. And he seems to have landed on the 9 stones of subversion because they are the last true embodiment of the power of the gods within the realm. And if he were able to channel all 9 of them in some way, it could raise him to the status of godhood.
Don't like that.
Yep, I remember that. Totally.
And I think, Josh, I may have asked you this before.
Yeah.
It is not a thing where if he had X amount, but he was missing 1, it has to be all of them together, right?
Lenaria probably didn't give you a lot of. I mean, like this is something that's even probably outside of Lenaria's true understanding.
Okay.
It would definitely empower him, whether or not it would make him god status or not. Now, you did have that one letter that did mention the stones, and that it said like the dragon's furies were on the track of the remaining stones. So so there's clearly like several people moving to gather them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you're just one of those. Good.
It's really bad.
So if
I know one thing about Eris besides the fact that she's the worst person I've ever met, she's very good at not being found when she doesn't want to be found.
No.
And so we're gonna leave the stones with this person?
Do you want to go all the way to Rheingerod to get them?
If they're that dangerous, I think they're better in our care than hers.
If Victor Rylis is after them, then
I think, listen, we already have things they want. I think we're sharing enough.
All right, well, we'll just make sure we keep in contact with your friend.
That's fine.
If we get the ones from Tarlo, then they're in 2 different places, which rather than all gathered in one, so that would help.
True.
All right.
Yeah.
We've got our schedule.
How long do we have until the museum? Is the museum going to be open tonight? And
yeah,
so we're going to walk
through. This is
through.
the grand opening of the museum. So it is open to the public, as it were. But at the same time that the grand opening is happening, there's a gala of basically museum donors, probably, as you can assume, that will be occurring at the same time. But this is also the grand opening night of the museum. So you can probably assume that there will be other regular Anavarians there, in addition to the upper crust people who are going to be there to hobnob with Tarlo Whistleton.
Gotcha.
Hobnob. Well, I'm good with that's everything I think I need now.
Yeah, and so probably with the conversations that have been happening with all the fittings that took place and the gathering of your measurements and things, you're probably looking at late evening. It's probably around the time that the doors would be opening for the museum, and it would be going into the evening. So you've got a few more hours, probably 3 or 4 hours or so of a time frame where you could go to the museum and have time to peruse the museum.
Cool.
I think we will do just that. What did I long rest?
So Malo, you and I then to the palace, Ogun to the Athenaeum, and the rest of you to the museum.
Seems about right.
And Malo, if you don't mind taking Anansi, he needs to stretch his legs anyway.
Mm-hmm. Nope, I'm gonna roll something.
And then do you have to burn a spell slot, Ronnie, to put it invisibility into it? Okay.
Yeah. It's something that he typically keeps in that thing. Gotcha. Yeah.
Cool. I don't think anyone would notice.
Okay.
I put a Nazi.
Yeah, I put a hand on Mar and I'm like, yet again, you've got this.
Thank you. You guys got using your eyes and not your hands.
Don't worry, I'm dad and I'll watch the kids.
Good job, Dad.
Thank you. Other dad.
All right. Ogun, as he's leaving, kind of passes by you, Jury, and just says, in my experience, family that you choose is far more important than ones that you leave behind. And he just heads out the door.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got our 2 groups. Now
split the party!
You guys are.
Mark can't stop splitting the party.
I know.
All right, so
I can't sneak all 5 of us into this place.
No.
Yeah,
I gotta pick my battles.
That'd be silly.
It'll take a while for the walk for Mar and Alora to go to the palace. So we will cut to the 4 of you as you guys.
That's good because I have to take some dogs outside.
There you go. That's fine. Yeah. So we'll cut to you, the 4 of you as you head to. It's not a far walk, although the square of the Prisma Quarter is this large, massive kind of circular ring that has multiple stages. There's the outer ring, which is the bazaar ring where all of the shops are. And then there's an inner ring with a park. And then there's another inner ring that has a massive fountain and structure or whatever. So you kind of have to wind your way through this to get to the other side of the square. But as you're coming around the corner, you come upon this massive building. Kind of think like a Parthenon style construction, large rectangular massive columns, beautiful white gold statues and friezes on the outer area, and there's a large banner that's draping across the front which says Whistleton's Museum of Antiquities, and this is kind of hanging there. And
is the building made out of stone?
The building is made out of marble, it looks like, which kind of seems to be matching the same marble as the walls and the palace are made out of.
That's going to be harder to burn down then.
Yes.
No.
At least the outside.
Yeah.
Well, you guys already burned something to the ground, Nanavir. You expended your one slot for that. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It was a slight flame, not
Come on
to the ground.
You need to learn to never take marble for granted.
Oh.
Geology
You're
jokes?
so cute,
Really?
Kaimana.
Geology jokes?
Aw.
That rock, Kaimana.
Now remember, everyone.
We all take
we're
1d4
looking.
psychic damage.
Yes. Remember, we're all looking for security weaknesses as we go in.
So the first thing you notice is like as you're walking up, it's not like a heavy trickle of people, but there's like 7 or 8 other people that seem to be making their way up the massive stone steps that lead to the front entrance. Flanking the entrance, you see there are 4 men, 2 on either side, that are dressed in what appears to be a semblance of antiquated armor, like older style military armor, and they are carrying swords at their sides or strapped across their back. One of them does have a like a heavy duty crossbow at their side. So there's already some kind of like semblance of security out front, although they're dressed in a way that it tries to appear as if they are part of the antiquity show.
Talk about overkill.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So you make your way up the steps and head
Sure.
inside. Okay,
They don't stop us, right? They just let us in.
They are. You can tell as you're walking by that they are keeping a very close watch on everybody who goes by, and you can even see that like they immediately clock like staff, dulcimer, like they are seeing the things that you're carrying in, and you can tell that they are very keen on that. All right, so you enter in, and it's weird. Like the moment you pass through the front entrance, it's almost like all the sound, which there's not a lot of sound on the Prisma Quarter anyway, but it all kinds of fades away, and there's just this like gentle music that's playing throughout the whole structure. And the first room of the museum is this massive, all the way up to the ceiling with the vaulted ceiling at the top. And this stretches not the full length of the museum, but kind of about halfway through. And it's this large entrance hall that has a marble floor that seems to be cut with gilded gold kind of inserts along the veins within the marble. And at the center, there's this massive fountain, which is kind of delivering this watery trickle sound throughout the whole of this area. And at the top of the fountain, there is a depiction of 2 intertwined dragons. Different in construction. One kind of looks more like a traditional like Chinese dragon, like long and slender, and the other one more westernized in depiction. Anybody who wants to can make a religion or arcana check as they're looking at these two. They are intertwined with each other, and they're from their mouths, the top of the fountain is spewing down, and it's landing in the pool at the center. And the water, when it hits the pool at the bottom, almost looks like diamonds for a moment or rubies for a moment, but then it kind of fades into the water and fades away. So there's this like twinkling magical essence to this fountain.
26 Arcana.
26
Oh,
Arcana.
well, I should have rolled religion.
I got an
13
infinity
Arcana.
symbol on religion.
Hey, okay.
I'm just waiting for Kamana to go dive into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, Abel, you know that these are depictions of the 2, like the Empyreans that are the matriarch and the patriarch of the Empyreans. The one being Bahamut, the solar dragon, the kind of the first Empyrean that was made, and then the second his bride, which is Iris, not Iris.
Oh God,
That's not
Daisy.
right. Where did she go?
You.
Hold on one sec. But it's the 2. Where did her? I just closed the wrong window.
No.
I do this
Do I have
every
my
time.
dragon
when I'm
lore
pulling my
still up?
stuff up. Where's my dragon book? I have a whole book on my dragons.
The Durgan book.
The Durgan book.
Oh.
This is my book of dungeons.
The thing you
This is my
sent me
book
that
of
time.
dragons.
Yeah, I just closed it and then I lost it.
Oh no.
Oh, there they are. Okay, so The male dragon, the one that looks more like a Chinese one, is a Bahamut, and then the other one, oh, it does say Iris. That name will get changed.
Too many Irises.
Is like the Dawnbringer. So you've got like one, and one's always a representation of the sun, and the other one the moon, and so they're kind of intertwined together. All right. This room has a second floor balcony that kind of goes, and you can see entranceways that go off to different exhibition halls on the top, and then mirrored on the bottom floor there's also several, and at the back entrance of this you can see there's an entrance to another room that is like red velvet lined off, and there are 6 guards standing there. You can probably assume that that's where the gala is, back in that space. But the rest of the museum does appear to be open. There
are those guards dressed similar to the others, like the
they're
armored metal armor?
Yes.
8 total.
At the back of the fountain there is a curving staircase that kind of curves up behind the fountain and then meets halfway to the second floor and then goes up to the second floor in a single path. And so there's a path up to the second floor, and then there are the rooms down here. From what you can tell, there are 4 rooms on the lower level and 4 rooms on the upper level that you could potentially explore.
All right. Are we Scooby ganging? Split up?
Yeah, split out. We are split up. We can do more damage that way.
All right.
All on our own or in pairs?
I say pairs.
Okay.
Come on, Abel. Let's go.
Off we go then.
You're leaving me and Kaimana on our own recognizance? You get what you asked for. It's not our fault. It's not our fault.
This is a chance for you to prove yourself, and if you horrifically mess up, I will be very disappointed in you.
This is a chance for you to grossly misjudge our characters.
And this way, someone to call the distraction.
Soros, Kaimana, remember you don't touch anything behind the ropes. Behave yourself.
What were you saying?
All right, we're gonna walk away, and I'm gonna turn to Soros and be like, "Let's hope it's behind glass."
All right, Abel, are we going upstairs?
Right, who's taking upstairs? Let's go downstairs.
We'll take the upstairs. Yes.
Okay.
Right. We know what we're looking for, so
Right, so
I'm looking for.
5 minutes later.
Kaimana and Soros. The first room that you all head into, off to kind of the left. And then once you get into these rooms, you can see that they're also interconnected. So you don't have to like go out into the main hall to get to the room next to it. You can just pass through. As you're passing through, again, like the soundscape changes, and what you seem to be appearing is like this area is designed as one of the major regions of Alyria. And so like this hallway has overhanging large like elephant leaf plants and large trees that are like, like the waterlog type trees, and coconuts and palms and things like that. And you realize that like there's signs and depictions that this is depicting the area around Suvenar's Key. And there are recreations of traditional Suvenarian huts. There are all kinds of ancient artifacts from the early Suvenarian culture there. And it's for Kaimana, this is interesting because you also come from one of Suvenar's like areas and major cultural centers, but you can notice like there's similarities between the designs here, but some of them are very different, and like the way the huts are constructed and the way that the items are made, because this is you're on the tranquil sea side of Suvenar's realm, and this is from the other side, so it's like a cultural divide. The most interesting thing that seems to be present in this room is there is at the center of the space, kind of surrounded by traditional huts, is a large statue, and it seems to be depicting a Triton standing with a hand outraised, a trident in his arm, and it's kind of rising up, and clutched in his left hand is a large sapphire gem. Go ahead and make a religion check, Kaimana.
What's he got, Kaimana? You like shiny things.
That's a 4.
Oh no!
It's real shiny.
It's shiny.
Yeah. Yep. Now, if you decide to get closer to the statue, there are some things that you could read to depict.
I will do that. Yes.
So you're like, I'm not sure what it is. So you get closer to the things, and this is a depiction of Suvenar in their Triton form, which was one of the ones that they used to kind of walk among the people. And the trident in his hand is a depiction of like a holy weapon that he used, or they used during the subversion in the battles against their sibling. The sapphire is a representation of the oceans, so it's just the nautical sapphire. So it's like Suvenar holding the oceans in their hands while they are kind of ready for war, as it was. Right. Anything else you guys want to like kind of look around or peruse in the Suvenar's key region of the Alyrian Museum?
Can I see if there's any reference to my people around here?
So you kind of are looking really closely around, and you travel through this whole room, and there's not. This seems to all be focused on that side of the antiquities. There's the next room. So you kind of get to the exit to the next room. And like, as you're kind of like looking around a little disappointed, you just glance through the door and you immediately see like hibiscus flowers. And,
okay.
So you make your way into there, and this is also a Suvenarian room, but this looks specifically like it's geared towards the ruins of Suvenarion, which is the southern tip of the Vanishing Isles. The whole Vanishing Isles used to be part of a series of an archipelago of over 1,000 islands that were the Empire of Suvenarion, which was one of the old kingdoms in the world before the Veil crushed it. And so this area is depicted to look like the Vanishing Isles. And so you recognize the plants, you recognize the kind of the topography of the land and the way it's designed. Even like the mural that's painted on the wall, you can you see that one of them is a volcano, and they've captured very clearly something that you can see from your island in Evenstar, which is there's a lonely volcano that sits out in the middle of the ocean off of Evenstar Isle. And you can tell that like that's a depiction of that volcano. And which your family would call something different than Tarlo Whistleton has called it here.
I'll send a name to you.
Yeah. And so, but this area, while you don't see anything that's particularly tied to the Lutrinians, the ruins of Suvenarion are all over the Vanishing Isles. And so you recognize like the sculptures that are on the around these ruined columns that are covered in vines, or the leftover remains of a wall, and the way that the stones are put together, and the masonry of the stones, and the artistic depictions and triptychs that are located on these stones. You recognize many of them, and there are even carvings here of Lutrinian people, along with all the other Suvenarian people as well, that are captured in here. So this is meant to kind of represent the ruins of Suvenarion. And when you kind of get to the center of this space, there is just a large kind of placard that talks about the fall of Suvenarion and the spread of the blight in the Vanishing Isles. And you know that there's an island in the Vanishing Isles that your people are told never to go to because the blight has spread there so badly, and there's such an influence from the Veil, and there's terrifying creatures that come out of there. And so this once powerful empire crushed by the power of the Veil and the Shadow.
So like the hibiscus flowers, are those like out in the open?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to pluck enough to make a lei and then put it over one of the Lutrinian statues.
Okay, cool. Are you trying to do it stealthily, or just come on and just
cool. Just grab one here, like pull out a bit of string and like.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
That's a natural 20. Okay. That's a 24.
Good. Yeah, you're good. Soros, as you're kind of watching, you're not as like engaged in the history of this. You're keeping an eye with your passive perception. You notice like in very careful places, there are guards everywhere. Like this room alone probably has 5 or 6. And not all of them are dressed in like the antiquated way. Like there's like a couple people that look just like normal Anarvirians who are just walking around, but you catch the sword at their hip or the dagger on their thigh, or you're like, okay, well they're ready for something beyond museum going. Go ahead and in this room, Source, just make a perception check in addition to your normal passive perception.
Perception 17.
17. Let's see. Yep. So you're passing by one of the murals. The walls here are all covered in these mosaic murals that are supposed to kind of depict like distant landscapes. So if it's like you're standing on an island looking out across the ocean at something else in the distance, you're looking at one where you notice like there is like a stone or something perfectly circular cut, like set up in the wall, kind of high up on the wall, that does not meld perfectly in with the mosaic. And then when you notice that one and clock it, you kind of turn and look at the other walls, and you see about 7 or 8 of them around this room.
Do I have any idea what they might be?
You are not proficient in Arcana, are you?
Arcana, God, no.
Yeah. No. If you point it out because Kaimana is proficient in Arcana?
I'm not proficient, but I don't have a negative modifier.
Then we will say no. Yeah, you're not exactly aware, because it would be an arcane thing, so not tied to our Kaimana's.
So it's not like a button to push to open a secret
it's
door.
kind of weird. It almost kind of looks like a fish eye. Like when you pointed out to Kaimana, your immediate reaction is kind of like the way like a fish's eye looks, like that convex clear eye, and it's just kind of sticking out of the wall 1 or 2 inches, and it's about like 5 inches in diameter.
Yep.
Security.
Yep.
Okay, keep going.
All right. So as you guys are making your way across the main hall to one of the other rooms, Jury,
I get the lay on the statue, right?
Good. You put a lay on the statue, and you find a statue of what you think might be one of the old, like priestesses of the Lutrinian culture, perhaps dressed very similarly to the powerful women within your tribe. All right. As you're making your way across the main hall, Jury and Abel, do you head to the right or the left when you get to the top of the stairs?
Right, maybe?
The right.
The right, yes.
Yeah, we're looking for those rings specifically, and I don't really care about much else.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking for like security measures, exits, and these rings.
Okay.
Those are my 3 big
So as
things.
far as exits are concerned, the only exit that you've seen so far from the building is the main entrance and exit.
Sure.
To the right. All right. So the first room you walk into, it's almost as if like all the light kind of dims, and you're in like, have you ever been in like a museum space where they're trying to focus you in on artwork, and so all the other light around you is dark, but then there's like central kind of spotlights, and what you see is a massive, like 10-foot tall triptych in the center of this room, like a 3-paneled wooden structure. That in each panel represents a different artistic piece. And the first one is from your religious training background or your educational able, it's a depiction of the 9 gods and their conquering of the primals.
It was going to be kind of a know-it-all, and as we're looking at it, I'm just like explaining to Jury.
I have proficiency in religion, so I feel like
Jury
I
probably knows this too.
I did go to college for a little bit,
Just making
the bards like to talk about stupid stuff like that all the time.
The second depiction,
it's impressive.
The second depiction is a representation of Caiaphas, or the Shadow's fall. And the other 9 gods and their the other 8 gods and their sadness as their sibling is kind of ripped away from their circle. And then the final triptych is a much more realistic depiction. The other ones are kind of representative of a final battle that seems to be taking place around the walls of Anarvir. and you think that this might be the final battle of the subversion in which Caiaphas was finally locked away. There's a sign here that says this is the masterwork and final art piece of Rumanara Pole, who witnessed the subversion firsthand.
She's related to your boyfriend.
Jaren is a good friend to our group.
Oh, he's a good friend now. I think he could be a great friend.
Right. So you guys leave this space. In the next room is, you can see that this space is dedicated to the subversion. All of the mosaics and art around here are depictions of battles, the veil, like kind of representations of the gods, like waging war on each of the walls. At the center, there are 9 daises, and upon each, you see, or not each, there are 4 of them that have an object above the dais. The other 5 daises are empty, but they're floating above 4 of them. You see rotating around one, you see a sword that looks like it's long and slender, kind of similar to the way that how the length of Mars' sword. The handle appears to be a single vine that is kind of wrapped around itself, and then it's kind of wrapping up on the handle a little bit. And at the pommel, there is a green emerald gem. A couple daises over from it, there is a what kind of looks like a clutch of a geode, kind of rotating around and floating in the air, and it has a place where you can hold it, and then it's attached to the top, almost kind of like a small torch, with the geode being the flame coming off the top. And at the base of the handle, there is an orange kind of a corundum gem. A few daises over from that, there is a massive great bow that has almost kind of like cloud imagery carved into the wood. And then at the ends of the great bow, you can kind of see these depictions of like wind whipping back. And then there's a quiver of arrows that are spinning next to it. And at the very center, right above where an archer would grasp the bow, you see an indigo colored stone. And then it's the 4th one, like 4 over from that really catches your attention, because you've seen Mar carry this sword before. There is a floating wave dancer, and it has a bright blue gem on its pommel, where you've noticed that Marlowe's is lacking a gem. Looking around and kind of taking note, this is the Hall of the Arms of the Subversion. The first sword is the Tiller, which is Tonatza's blade. It is the brother blade to the Wave Dancer. The kind of geode is called the Ever Spark, and it is Mysterial's arm of subversion. The bow is called Derico's Aim, and it is the great bow that was created by Aeolasar. And then the last one is called the Wave Dancer, and it was Tonatza's sword.
I'm kind of looking at the bow because it's from Aeolasar. That's my god, so I'm admiring it a little.
Yeah, it's a beautiful construction, and it's weird because it kind of looks like it's made out of stone, but it's like, or stone. It's made out of wood, but like the carving of the wood is so fluid. It gives the depiction almost of like roiling clouds, kind of rising.
See that, Abel? My god made that.
It's impressive craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they would not have the actual arms of subvergence on display. Can I detect magic?
Whoa, wait, don't.
Okay, you cast a spell.
Oh no, Abel, why would you cast a spell?
Curious about the magic.
Abel, make an intelligence saving throw for me, please.
Oh, I'm good at these.
I hope so.
Wait. Where's my thing?
Abel. I really took the problem child with me, I guess.
No. I am just curious.
Casting in the room with these.
Intelligence saving throw?
Yes.
Uh-huh. A 13 plus 9.
You're muted
20,
that one, but I could hear you.
22?
22. Okay. So as you're casting, Abel, you immediately feel like this energy almost like focus in on you. But there's just like a moment where you freeze for a second, but then you're able to kind of shrug off the energy and you finish casting the spell. Jury, as you're watching him do this, you notice around the room there's these small orbs that kind of along the wall, and like two of them, the moment he started casting on either side of the wall, like flashed, and you sensed this energy kind of washing across the room, almost like it's reading for magic being cast in this area. Do you have any elements of disguise or illusion active on you currently at this time?
Jury or me?
Either of you.
I don't think so.
I
don't think Jury wears makeup, but I don't really think they're always like illusions.
Okay, so your Shadow disguise isn't active right now.
No, because I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to bring any magical. I was like conscious not to bring any magical or like any active magical shit in.
Okay.
Because that was like my deal.
Abel, do you have any elements of enchantment or illusion active right now? Okay, cool.
No, I don't.
All right.
I guess when I feel like the magic pulse that like freezes me for a second, I just like turn to Jury and I don't do that.
I go pretend like you don't know me and I'm walking away from you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. With that in mind, Abel, you do pick up on there's 8 of these glowing orbs on the wall, and they're all releasing magical energy, mostly adoration, like just shielding magic and also enchantment magic. Okay. The item depicted as the tiller is glowing with magic. It's a magical item. The Everspark is also glowing with magic. Derico's aim is glowing with magic. The Wave Dancer is mundane. Not.
Yeah, because it's a replica. We've seen the real Wave Dancer.
The 4 gems located on these items are also all mundane.
The gems are real.
But you get the sense that these 3 they're at least magical items, whether or not they're the actual arms of the subversion or not, but there are magical items there.
Sure.
Can I tell, like, well, I can't really tell if it's the actual, like, the type of magic that's within them is just like, I don't know, like disguise magic, or
with a magic item, it's more like it hasn't embedded enchantments in it, but those enchantments are so diverse. Like there's elements of all kinds of magic in all of these. Like they all have evocation. They also all have elements of abjuration. Like there are layers and layers and layers and layers of different schools of magic on all 3 of these that are intertwined and like working beautifully together to craft whatever enchantment is on these 3.
Okay. Can I just kind of walk along the room, but really I'm trying to suss out how those orbs for scanning for magic work. And if I can see any, like where they're connected. Is it like a closed circuit type thing, or, you know, if maybe I short one out, will they all go down?
Okay. As you're going to make an intelligence or an arcana check.
Arcana.
And there are no guards coming, right? Are there guards? I'm like looking to see if they're coming.
Because Abel succeeded on his intelligence saving throw, it did not trip the alarm.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I keep losing my
it doesn't automatically trip. That's really good info.
Now, as you're in the room, Jury, and Abel's kind of walking around, like you see like 3 or 4 guards who are just kind of walking around to different rooms. They enter in, that's the side entrance you came in. They kind of walk around the perimeter and then they walk out the front. So there's a you can tell there's a patrol of guards here.
Sure.
I rolled a 14.
14. It's really difficult to tell because they're so high up on the wall. It's difficult to tell like how they're embedded. But you do see like all of them have a ring of like a sigil ring around the outside of them. It's hard to read from this distance what the sigils are, but you can tell that each one has their own sigil ring. So you think they might all be individually powered in a way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Based off of that, you probably understand that whatever they're doing in the room is not visible to the naked eye. But they might be doing something that you can't see that they're doing.
Okay. I will make a note.
Like invisibly they're doing something.
Okay, I'll make a note. I don't want to risk casting any more magic in here.
You do get the sense the way they're laid out, they seem to be making like they're kind of crossways each other, and if you were to trace lines across all of them, they do seem to be making kind of like if you were to trace a line, there's like a sigil almost between the 9 or so of them.
Okay. Where like there's an intersecting point where they all.
Yeah, it seems to be centered around the daises, the 9 daises.
Okay.
Any closer inspection of the actual daises themselves?
Nope, I'm looking for the rings. That's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let Jury do that. I'll look at the daises
and go ahead and make a investigation check. Jury, you head out and you go around the balcony to the other 2 rooms on the other side.
Yeah.
All right. The first room is a representation of the crown and the history of the crown. So there's all kinds of depictions of like different royal jewels and gems here. There is like recreations of the throne. It's kind of like if you go to like the British Museum and they're like, here's the crown jewels at the Tower of London. It's kind of like that space.
Very fancy.
So probably very expensive things here. And there are more guards present in this room. Like keeping an eye very closely on things.
What's up, guards?
The room next to it as you're walking in is very sparse, but at the center there are 2 glass cases. And in one, almost like on a mannequin, but there's no like head or body to them. It's almost like an invisible mannequin. You see this like outstretched robe, like arms raised like this, and floating above the right arm, where the right hand would be, is a large staff. You see this beautiful white robe with gold trim. On the other glass case to its right, you see this beautiful, what probably used to be beautiful armor. And Regulus was from the tribe of Tanata. So there are vines and flowers on this, but the whole armor looks as if it's been burnt black. And like kind of where the hand is pointed to the ground, you see this large, massive greatsword that kind of points down away. Between these 2 glass cases, seemingly almost like floating in midair, kind of ever intertwining in a dance, you see 2 rings. One, a platinum ring of very simple design, and the other one, a burnished bronze ring. So like a light and a dark ring that are just kind of rotating around each other, permanently, never touching, but constantly doing a dance around each other in the air.
Jackpot. All right, I'm gonna check around this room, see what the security measures are here specifically.
Make an investigation check.
Sweet. Sorry, y'all, I'm investigating. I got an 11, which is not great.
You pick up that there are 9 of those orbs in the wall again. And just kind of like those immediately grab your attention.
All right, I'll wait for Abel to come over here.
All right. Kamana and Soros, as you cross the hall into the other room, the first room is seems almost, it's weird because it's like the moment you cross through, you can tell like there's something falling from the ceiling, and as you pass in, like one hits you on the cheek, Kamana, and it's cold to the touch. But then like it when you go to wipe it away, it's just water. And then like another one hits you on the head to head, and it's a little cold, and then it's just water. And Soros, you recognize it's snow, which you encountered for the first time at the Day of Ascension. But there's snow falling from this room, and the room is dedicated to the barbarian tribes of Rangorod. And at the center of this room, there's a recreation of a giant, basically like a mead hall, but like the front end of a hall with a tall wall with a sloping roof that kind of curls off into ram's heads on either side. And then at the top at the center is a large dragon head. And then there's a second floor to it at the back. With a thatching on the roof, and there's like a thin spiral of smoke that seems to be curling out from the inside. But most of this room is a depiction of the weapons and armor of the cold north. And so the northern steppes and the region around that area. So like the rough iron architecture and construction of the barbarians of Rangorod.
So it's a bunch of all right, I'll look at the weapons. Okay. Are there any that like they stand out or they have under glass?
Yeah, well, they don't have any under glass in this room, but you're kind of looking around. The ones on the outside seem to be all kind of similar making construction, and they're all in front of like armor that all seems very similar. When you get in front of the meat hall, though, there is a larger armor piece that almost looks like it would fit like a giant in a way. And like kind of laid out in front of it are 5 or 6 different weapons. There's a sword that's like taller than Abel or taller than Jury even. There is a large bow of some kind of ebony wood that's laid out in front of it with these massive bolts that are almost like ballista bolts that this bow would have shot. And then a couple daggers, and you can tell just by the construction, because you've seen daggers before, that they're built like daggers, but they're as big as swords to any normal person. And these are the weapons of Thoradin, who was the leader of the Storm Giants during the Subversion, who founded Rangorod.
I'll look at Soros and I'll be like, those are the displayed models. Like they have them, and then like they'll be like, "Oh, I like that one. I want to buy that one." And then they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, we'll go get it from the back."
Yes.
But no, they're like, so it's all of his weapons.
Yep. Or at least depictions of his weapons. They're claiming to be the real thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Based on conversations you've had with Marlo and Abel, the Cloud City or the Free City that is currently called the Profane Citadel used to be Thoradin's citadel, but Thoradin was killed during the Subversion when that Cloud City was taken over. So it's possible that they have what was left of his armor and weaponry after his death.
Is the armor marked up? Is it like?
So you can tell it's been cleaned, but go ahead and make an investigation check as you're looking at it.
11?
Or Arcana.
11?
11. Okay. You can tell like this has been burnished, but with your innate magical essence, you can tell that it's also magical armor. And that it would not be damaged or destroyed in battle, and so would not show the wear and tear of battle, but it does read as magical armor.
Thor, it must have been like really important.
And tall.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Everybody's taller than me, but yeah,
it's
very
difficult to tell because it's not like super. It's not like body covering armor, as the barbarians are not known to wear. And Thoradin.
I'm basing it off the size of the sword.
Yeah, the sword.
And the
You
dagger.
probably imagine that somebody holding that sword would have to be 25 feet tall, maybe.
It's like big enough for like each of us, our chest, but it turns out it's his codpiece.
I'll let you try that on.
Yeah. All right. The last.
I got a new helmet.
The last room on this side of the main hall is under like construction. They don't have a lot here, but it looks like they're trying to do depictions of the people of the Underdark, specifically the Drow and the kingdoms of the Drow in the Underdark.
They haven't stolen enough artifacts yet. Got it.
So they have a few like Drow weapons and some examples of Drow armor, but it's not as fleshed out and designed. But you can tell the room's supposed to kind of look like a cavern with like geodes and crystals in the wall, but it's not as fleshed out with material because they have not plundered enough from other people for this.
But no rings yet. No sign of any rings.
Now, Jordan, would you have messaged them when you found the rings?
I'm not casting magic.
There you
I'm
go.
not casting magic in this bitch.
All right, Abel, with an 18 on your investigation check of the daises, every single one of the daises, as you're looking around, like they look just kind of like normal, kind of raised daises with these objects floating above them. Very minusculely at the bottom, you recognize each dais is ringed with a ring of sigils.
Do I recognize anything about these sigils? Can I read the sigils or understand them?
All the sigils are a mixture of evocation and abjuration magic. Protection and destruction.
Oof, that's not good.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. I will keep that in mind. Hypothetically, if I wanted to disrupt the magic that these sigils are performing, like, would like scratching out one of these sigils do that? Or I'm not saying I want to do that now.
Yeah, so all of these are not hand carved sigils, they are poured molten metal sigils.
Oh, poured molten metal, something like a smith would do, right? Oh, okay, cool.
Difficult to disturb.
You could potentially dispel it, maybe, but you don't know how difficult it would be to dispel.
Yeah. Not one of the spells that I currently have. I don't give that shit to an artificer. Good thing I have a badass bard. Okay.
You think this and you look and I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm in the other room.
The longer you think about this room, though, Abel, that Everspark is just calling your name.
It is pretty. Well, I would know what it is, right? Based off like stories of the.
Make a history check.
Sure.
Or religion.
I keep losing my freaking D20. All right, where's D&D Beyond? History or religion? History is that. Religion is definitely a history check, bro. 28.
Yeah, there are legends about the Everspark. Especially with your father being a follower of Mystariel and also being a forge master. It's like the Everspark, the way that alchemists talk about the Rebus or the Philosopher's Stone, that's the way forge masters talk about the Everspark. It was supposedly the first gemstone that Mystariel created, and they imbued it with the essence of their innate magical and creative magics. And when it's wielded by a magical crafter, such as an artificer or a forge cleric, the user is empowered by the might of Mystariel.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to try to catch up with Jury.
You see Jury in the room with the rings, just checking it out.
Okay. So have you found the rings that you were?
I hold. They're behind my hand. They're on display right here.
How silly of me, yes. And I kind of, in a whispered, hushed tone, I tell Jury what I've kind of observed with the magical orbs and the ceilings and the sigils cast in molten metal around the displays, and just kind of
how long is your detect magic? Is it 10 minutes?
10 minutes, I think.
Okay, so it'd still be up. When you walk into the room, the stave that the Lightbringer would have carried and also the mantle are glowing with that same intricate web of magic as the arms of the subversion were. The Guardian's armor and his sword are also glowing with that same intricate web of magic. And you're beginning to think that if those were arms of subversion that were created by the gods, that intricate web of magic, something that not a normal human or enchanter could craft, that these might also have been blessed in the same way by the gods.
Does he get anything off the rings?
The rings are mundane. But they should be, according to legend. They were blessed by the gods. They were not created by the gods.
True, yeah.
Okay. That is pretty so I just tell Jury, I know you were smart enough not to cast magic here, but all of these items, except for the wave dancer, are just brimming with the weave of magical essence.
Well, Abel, the best way to check security is to get in trouble, so you're doing a great job.
Well, I was good enough not to alert security, so please keep that in mind as well.
You're doing better than I thought, actually.
I will take the backhanded compliment. Thank you, Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would Source and Kaimana fail to find anything on the bottom floor? Would you go to the upper floors to?
Maybe we missed it. We better look again.
I want to kind of wander near the doors of the back, not to go through it, but to see if I can catch a sight of what's in the other room.
Okay. As you kind of wander around to the backside, the 6 guards who are standing there kind of straighten up a little bit more, and they're looking at you very closely. But when they notice that you're just kind of wandering by, they don't pay any attention. Looking through the doorway into the back room, what you see is a beautiful room at the back, golden crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling, all kinds of art pieces and things displayed here. And there are many people very well dressed kind of walking around with other people serving hors d'oeuvres and bringing drinks around. And you hear kind of from the distance a voice that says, "Thank you so much for joining us for this evening's gala at the Whistleton Museum of Antiquities. Of course, you know I'm Tarlo Whistleton. I'm the founder of this event." And here's you're walking by.
Sounds gross.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's the worst.
Tarlo.
Oh, Tarlo.
So he's introducing. He's doing the welcome.
He's doing the introductory welcome for the gala. Yeah.
Okay.
First, yeah, Source. And
I want to would we hear this from up top?
No, Source only hears this because he's walking by the door of the entrance there.
As me and Abel are chatting about stuff, is the same sigil that he saw around the arms? Is there anything like that around the rings? What they're floating in?
So Abel, you kind of glance down just with the knowledge of what you're looking for. The 2 glass cases have the same sigil. The rings do not, but you notice that one of those orbs is directly in the ceiling above them, and there's one on the floor beneath them.
Maybe just 2 orbs to contend with.
we have enough spell slots to dispel something like that.
I mean, we could try and get in trouble if you want, but
no, not right now. It might be better if we had our rogue with us, but I think we should wait until later tonight, perhaps. That was the plan, right? We weren't stealing shit right now, were we?
We felt like we could, we were going to, but I
definitely cannot get away with.
You know that the museum closes in like 3 hours. So if you wanted to come back when it was closed, that would be the time frame.
Yeah.
And you might have Marbeck by then.
I want to get to Marlowe's adventure.
Right.
I feel like this is a successful
So
scout.
you guys have successfully kind of scoped out the museum.
I have one quick question.
You don't know the full extent of what this is, but you know that there are many magically based security measures in place here.
Sure.
You don't exactly know. It would take an identify or a higher roll on the Arcana check to know exactly what these orbs are doing.
Well, I mean, I could try to cast that as we're leaving. I mean, if we're gonna
leaving, you want to try to cast.
I mean, if I think an identify would.
Okay, so as the four of you kind of regather yourselves and are leaving the museum, Jury's
can I help?
Cast. You can use your flash of.
Let me hold on.
No, what if, like, you as an artificer, I can take like a mundane item and make like a little holographic duplication of it? What if
I have to be able to touch it too? I don't know if any of these are low enough.
You have to be able to touch it, identify?
Yeah.
I thought it simply had to be in the center of
it says one object you must touch throughout the casting of the spell.
No.
So the only one that would be within touch range of you is the one on the floor under the rings. The other ones are all on the walls.
I will gather us together and see if we want me to try to attempt to do that as
well. What my thing, I was gonna try to like take, I don't know, like a coin or something out of my pocket and see if I can make like a little holographic duplication of it. So if you get caught and they say, "Oh, there's magic here," then I'll say, "Oh, I love this piece so much. I just want to make a copy of it and show it to my friends later."
You can do that.
Yeah, we can try. All right, I think
it'll be our cover story if this doesn't work out.
Okay.
I think you two should go ahead and roll out. Me and Abel might try to do this real quick if that's fine.
Okay.
So I mean, come on and make your way out.
I'm not offended about trying to get in trouble this
okay, you two get caught.
Well, Jury can
well, once it's not us. Once it's not us.
So the only one that would be close enough is the one on the floor on the second floor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it takes you 10 minutes.
I just cast it.
Oh, you just cast it. Oh, right, because
I'm not going to ritual cast it. No, I can, but I'm not going to.
So you take the minute, I think, to cast it normal.
Yeah. Can I try to roll to try to get a good spot where the guards aren't around?
So this upper floor, aside from the room with all the king's jewels and things, the guards are only on patrol.
Okay. They're
so
not
you can
like
wait until a guard patrol comes through and then goes out.
That's what I want to do. Okay. And then I'll try to cast then.
Good. So you go to cast. Abel, as you're kind of looking out, watch, you do see a figure walk into this room.
Do I recognize them?
Jaren Pole.
No, you can't be here.
I'm going to walk over to Jaren. Why are you here?
I said that I would meet you all here this evening. I didn't expect you to come right when the doors opened.
Well, we needed to get the lay of the museum so we knew what we were walking into.
And you think you have a pretty good idea?
We know more now than we did before, at the very least, so.
Good. What is your friend doing?
My friend.
I'm like guiltily on the floor, like touching this thing.
Make an intelligence saving throw, Jury.
Okay, let's see how this goes, guys. Ready? Here we go. Come on, Dice. Tell me what we're working with. Oh, fuck. We got a 5. Jesus Christ. Come on, Dice. I was supposed to be the responsible one, Dice. How could you do this to me?
So,
even if I give you a flash of genius, I don't think that's going to help.
In the course of this minute where you're having a conversation with Jaren, and you're like, oh, they're fine. Jordan, you feel your entire, as you're casting the spell, you feel your entire body lock up.
Yep.
Abel, that's when you notice like all of the circular orbs on the wall begin to glow red and start flashing in a pattern around the wall. And then you see a beam of light shoot out of one across to another one, and then a beam of light shoot out across from the other one. And they're starting to like make this pattern in the air above you. Jordan frozen as they're touching the one on the ground.
Oh God.
What are you doing? You have a round of action to act.
Okay, wait, let me see the spells that I have prepared for myself here today. I'm gonna run over to Jury.
Disintegrate me. This is my lot in life.
And the first thing that I want to do is, did I do that restoration?
Get me the fuck out of here.
Where's my
me out of the room, Abel. Drag me out of the room.
Okay, can I move Jury at all, or are they just like petrified, or
they are considered paralyzed? You can drag them. Jaren sees you doing that and runs over to help.
Okay. I'm going to try to move.
Which are you moving out into the main hall, or are you moving into the gym room next door?
I'm gonna move to the main hall actually. I think I have a plan.
Okay. Let's see where the patrol's at. Okay. So as you're moving, your movement speed is 15 feet per round because you are dragging Jordan, even with Jordan's help, because he.
On my way out,
3 on the strength check.
Lord Jesus! On my way out, I'm going to see if I can make a little duplication of whatever one of the little.
I imagine you were doing that before while Drew's. That's fine.
Casting.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna hold like to the coin I had.
Okay.
Where it like has the duplication of whatever Drury was standing in front of.
As you're moving, those lines intersect and form a kind of a sigil in the air, and you start seeing beams shooting down from the where the lines intersect and hitting the ground. And you're moving out towards the front entrance. I need you, Jaren. Jury, you automatically fail, but this is dependent upon the 2 people dragging you to make dexterity saving throws, please.
Holy shit.
I really hope I don't get disintegrated. That'd be really unfortunate.
You automatically fail, Jury, but you're depending on Abel and Jaren.
Yes. I wish I could give you inspiration, friend.
Inspiration!
Oh, I'm paralyzed. I can't give you shit.
That's not bad. 15 is like my dex is not 15 plus.
Oh, that's great. 15 plus what?
2.
Oh, amazing.
17.
17 is good.
Yeah.
All right. So you do not get caged.
Well, that's
nice. What is being built in this room right now is a cage. But lovely. You are cutting out of the room just as one of the final bars of the cage strikes down in front of the entrance. Abel, you take, that's a low roll. 1, 2.
Oh, a low roll on the damage, huh?
Yeah, hold on. You take 32 points of force damage.
Jesus Christ.
What did you just say to me?
32 points of force damage.
What the
Jaren rolled a natural 20 on his save, so he's
Jaren.
I gave Tarla Whistleton trust issues.
It's true, you really did actually.
Shit.
Are you up still?
Yeah, but come on, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Thankfully not trapped in the room. And also really thankful because the guards were coming from the gym room. And so the guards hit the gym room entrance right as you're leaving the main entrance. They didn't see you in the room.
Good. Sick.
All right. So cutting over to
Yep, Garrett, there.
You arrive I know. You arrive at the palace. Alora lets you in the front entrance. You kind of follow. You know that Yusef's quarters are in the royal quarters, so you just follow closely along with Alora, invisibly. And then when you get into the hallway where you know, like, turning right would take you to Alora's quarters, she kind of looks around very carefully because you're invisible and goes, Yusef's quarters are that way. Take this hallway here, first right, second left.
I tap her on the shoulder.
It's the large mahogany door. The main hall, den, bedroom at the back, wash closet next to that, office off the den on the left hand side.
Just a little pat on the shoulder, and then I head off.
And she cuts off. She cuts off the other direction, and you can hear her, like, you see her cast a spell, and she's saying, Yusef, I'm so sorry to bother you this evening. Renly and I had a very quick question to ask you about the parade. We had a question about the Mount Adronis addition to the parade that you added earlier today. Can we meet you in Renly's sitting chamber, please? And she waits for a moment, and then she kind of turns and looks back at you and just gives you a thumbs up.
Cool.
All right. So go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage as you're making your way.
Downtown, walking fast.
28.
28. Okay. All right. So as you're making your way down, you head down you take the first right. And as you're coming around to the second left, so you pass for one left and you get to the second one, you see a figure walk out of that left, and walking down the hallway is the 6 foot tall, thin as a rail, slicked back hair, Yusef. And he's kind of walking by. Fucking princess thinks she can just get me to come to her anytime she wants. As he's walking past you.
Oh, just so much.
But he does not notice your presence as you kind of press yourself up against the wall as he walks by.
I was right about this. Bitch from day one, and bitch is the nicer word that I made myself say.
See you next Tuesday. So you make your way past and you get to his door. Keyhole there. Door is locked.
Right. Number 1, check for traps.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
19.
19.
Okay.
It is trapped.
How's it looking?
You could make a Thieves' Tools check to try to undo it.
I would like to do that.
All right.
Yes. Oh, these are some good rolls. Just knocking wood, sorry. Remind me, proficiency, dexterity
Dexterity
to that?
plus proficiency, yeah.
Okay, so that's 23.
23. Okay, yep. So you kind of you find the space like near the keyhole where you can see like there's another small hole, and you insert the tool in there, and you feel like a wire that's on a hook. And you carefully release the wire from the hook and then attach it to something that's up next to it so that it doesn't release when you unlock the door.
Okay.
So then you put in the key and turn.
Yeah.
Okay. So you turn, the lock clicks, the door swings open. No trap goes off.
Great. Then I will shut the door behind me very quietly.
You shut the door behind you, and as you walk into the space, so there's like a small little hallway that then opens up into the main den.
Okay.
As you step in, you feel this wave of energy wash across you, and you just keep moving through. But when you look down, you can see your hand.
Okay.
The invisibility's gone.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's the den in
anti-magic field.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yes,
that's fine.
in a way.
that is okay.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything that looks interesting to me at all in this hallway?
Sorry. So it's just a little small hallway that then opens up into the den.
The den. Okay,
yeah.
I've moved.
It's kind of like a mud room, basically coming out of like a garage, but then going into like a kitchen. But this is the den. The den is comfortable. There's a few sitting chairs. There's a fire in the fireplace. You can see that there's like a book that's like spined up on one of the chairs where maybe he was sitting and reading when he got the call from Alora.
What's he reading?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'm just interested.
You don't have to go. You don't have to investigate.
Are you kidding me?
You don't have to investigate. So you go because you just go read the spine. So you go and look at the spine of the book. He is reading Virgin Meadows.
Oh boy! I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult to Nyroy, but I am thrilled to know that Yusef reads erotica.
Of course.
And I will be making a note of this. If I get nothing else out of this.
And in this room, there's like, I mean, there's walls of bookshelves on one side. There's like the entrance to his bedroom. There's the entrance to his office, like a little off entrance to a little water closet. It's a large room and a large space, but you can tell it's like the princess's quarters are like twice the size of those.
Right.
But you know,
and this is where he takes guests, so there's not going to be anything cool in here.
Yeah.
I'll take a quick look around, but not spend much time here.
Go ahead and make do you want a perception or investigate it? Like just a quick cursory glance or investigative glance?
Perception, and if there's anything that interests me, then I'll spend time. But I think the goal here is not to spend time in this room. Is what I'm trying to do.
Go ahead and make a perception check first.
A natural 20? What a waste. Come later.
Well, good, because it was a 20. What's your total perception with a natural 20?
Well, 25.
25.
Okay, I'm gonna walk that back. Di, I love you. Thank you, little Di. I need you.
You're kind of glancing around, and like there's nothing really that catches your eye, except like you can tell like you're walking past the mantelpiece, and you kind of look, and then you keep going, and something catches your look, and you bend down at the center of the back of the fireplace.
No way.
You can tell that some of the bricks have been recently redone, like the masonry doesn't match. And at the center of one of those bricks, you see an emerald stone that's been recently placed in the center there.
Whoa. Can I investigate what's happening here before I start touching anything?
Well, I mean, with that high of an investigation,
okay, sure.
Like you can tell that like he was trying, like he built something here to hide something behind the flames,
right?
But rather than like hide it completely, he's allowing it almost as like a decorative element at the back. But as long as there's a flame here, you only caught it because like the flame moved out of the way just long enough for you to catch the flicker. Yeah.
Can I put out the flame for a second?
Yeah. You have water, or you have a canteen or something?
Yeah, I have a canteen.
Yeah, you can put out the flame. Yep.
Okay. What's happening?
Okay, it is an emerald stone. It's about the size of the hole in the pommel of the wave dancer. But you know that the wave dancer stone should be blue, but it's the same size as the stone that would go in the wave dancer.
Can I make a leap of judgment and confidently say this is the Tanata's stone of subversion?
Yes.
Oh, I really want to take that. I really want to take it. Oh, I can't take it right now. I'm not supposed to take things. Okay. I relight the fire.
Okay, you relight the fire.
Yeah, take it right at the end, Mar. That's the trick.
You know, Yusef's in possession of one of the stones of the subversion. Interesting that he would be in possession of it and not, but yeah.
And not Tarlo.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
In theory. Well, not Armand.
That definitely is like why didn't he give that
supposed to be? Oh. Mm-hmm. That's very weird.
All right, but nothing.
Wait, Yusef actually great? Wait, Yusef actually a good guy? Oh my god.
Yeah, but nothing else.
I refuse to believe it.
Your eye.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I relay the fire, and I will move into his bedroom, I guess.
Bedroom?
No, office.
Okay.
I want to be strategic. Office first, then bedroom.
Okay.
In case I have to make a quick exit.
office door is locked. Also, you would investigate is also trapped.
All right, I'd like to undo that, please.
Okay, make a thieves' tools check.
I don't know why I'm supposed to remember this. I never remember this. 15 plus 5 plus 3. It's another 23.
Okay, yeah, you're able to release the trap here. You use the key again. It's the same key as the door. And you make your way into the office. The office is almost the same size as the den, and has a large oak desk at the center. There are 3 large windows behind it. One is slightly cracked open to let a nice breeze in, with beautiful curtains on either side of the outer windows, and whatever those called, not valises, but the valance curtains across the top. There's a beautiful rug at the center of this room, and there's no books in here. There's not like bookshelves and shelves. There's just like it's like almost like a trophy case of somebody who was poor and has built wealth and is showing off elements of their wealth over time. So there's like a beautiful dagger in a display case. There's like an ornate a quill made out of almost like looks like phoenix feather or something like that.
Yeah, I gave myself unlimited money in The Sims and made the richest house I possibly could.
Yes, but it's like it's not like 60 things. There's like 12 objects in here, each given like a place of honor in the space, and each one looks like, you know, at a different point in his life he was able to obtain something, and this was like a sign of that growth. Like you see, like one of the things is like a medal that just says you know, Curia Regis, and then has his rank within the Curia Regis on it, and that's just like hanging there. Like this is Yusef in his own private office showing off signs of his growth and wealth. Yeah.
Wow. Let me look at this desk.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh, 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's 3. There's a center desk drawer, which is just filled with like pins and things for him to do paperwork.
Wait, oh Josh, I had something I wanted to do when I walked in here and I just like didn't do it.
Okay.
I have 3 gobstoppers of guidance. They last 1 minute each. I would like to start eating that.
Sure.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to add that to this roll?
I would like to just keep adding it to my rolls, and obviously those are 1 minute each, so I know those will wear off.
Yep.
But I'll deal with that as it comes.
All right.
So that was a 21, 22.
Okay, cool.
Because it's a D4 for guidance, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
So this desk has 3 desk drawers, and you kind of go through each one, and there's paper, quills. There's a few rolled up like deeds, proclamations. Like you can tell on the top of his desk drawer, there's like a speech that he's working on for the king's birthday about how blessed he is to be, the crown regent and looking over the king until he can ascend to the throne. And so they're kind of like very mundane things. But all of that's centered on the top and the right hand side of the desk. The left just seems to be like a leg of the desk. But with your investigation check, you can tell that there's a false panel on the left-hand side of the inside of the desk.
These people love their false panels in a desk.
Yeah.
He probably got it at the same place Dane did.
Yes. With a 21, with a 22, because that mattered, because the DC was 22. You.
Oh, thank God I said that.
You not only discover the false panel, but you do discover that it is trapped.
That's not great. 18.
Okay.
21.
Okay, good. 21. All right. So you, with a 21, you were able to understand that the element of this trap is it's linked to something else in the room, and you kind of like are kind of looking at the trajectory, and you see a clock that has no moving hands on it, and you can tell that it's like linked to that in some way. And you're like, you think that opening this drawer might set off something with the clock. You cannot, with a 21, disengage this trap, but you might be able to buy yourself some time of it activating whatever it does. Like you can maneuver it enough.
Like I can set it off and then run to the clock and be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Well, so you can tell that there's like a system in the trap. You can't figure out how to disengage the system, but you feel like you're pulling the system in a way that like whatever it's doing, like when you're releasing it, it seems to kind of be slowly retracting back. So you find a way to kind of like pull it up so that it has a further distance to retract before it hits whatever the marker is.
Okay. Can I stop what I'm doing here and go look at the clock?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation check on the clock.
Okay. 22.
22. Yeah, so investigating the clock, you can like there's a clear panel at the bottom, and you can see like where you would expect like the pendulum and everything. There's just these floating orbs of some kind of magical energy that are slowly kind of like pulsing there, and you can see a wire that's coming up and hitting right where the door latch is here. And just kind of like mentally tracing it, you can tell that that's the wire that's connected to whatever trap's in the desk.
Okay.
So whatever the desk does, it releases whatever this clock is designed to do.
Okay. Cool.
You could try to disengage it from the clock side, but it would be more difficult because you failed at the one. It would be more difficult on the other one. Yeah.
It would be more difficult.
Yeah.
If I fail on this check, will I set anything off, or would I know that at all?
You get the. I mean, I'll give you like you get the sense that if you succeed, you could potentially disengage whatever this trap is. If
I'm gonna try
fail, you would set the trap off.
Well, we're here. We're doing the thing. We might as well try.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Wait, I'm gonna be smart. I'm going to pause in this room. I'm going to go investigate the bedroom, and I'm going to come back, because if I set it off, I'm going to come back to this, because I think this seems, in my head, this seems to be the big trap.
All right.
You're the same as your cousin.
Yeah. As you're doing this, you're making your way to the bedroom. You get a call, like a message.
Oh, God damn it.
It'll probably take him about 10 minutes to make his way back to you, but
I'm on a timer.
He left the king's chamber.
Okay, run out of here to the bedroom and look around.
You open the bedroom. If there was a way to call a
you're not helping
bedroom sad.
Oh no.
Yusef's bedroom is very sad.
Oh, because no one sees this.
He has it's like a simple, almost like a futon, like on the ground. There's reed not reed carpeting, but reed planks along the walls or on the floor. Very simple designs on the walls. Like what appears to be like a hand knitted duvet on the futon, and a single like picture frame on the wall above the futon. Probably
What's
not
on
space
the picture frame?
So you go and look, and in the picture frame you see what appears to be maybe a younger Yusef Arafan. His hair shorter, no facial hair, and he is kind of
rate him 1 to 10.
Like a 6.5.
Way too high. Incorrect.
And he is like smiling and laughing in the picture, and in his arm is a man who bears a very strong resemblance to Alora.
It's the king. Damn it, don't make me feel bad for this guy.
And then right next to Yusef, and you can kind of see like he doesn't have his arm around them, but like just their pinkies are touching in the picture. You see like this beautiful like laughing, half elven woman with like tan skin. And she's just kind of laughing and smiling. And the three of them are there. And you can tell that they're all wearing like school uniforms.
I have no idea who this woman is, do I?
No.
Damn, bitch, you live like this. Cool. I'm gonna look around.
Okay. I mean, there's like, you can roll an investigation.
There's literally nothing. Like,
it's a very Spartan, and like, this looks like the bedroom of somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, who just uses their room to sleep in, and does not share that space with other people.
No, I'm not going to feel bad for this man. Okay. I go away. I come back.
Okay. So you go back to the other room. Okay. So with your general investigation, I mean, like the objects in this room, that false wall in the desk, and what's going on with the clock.
Yep.
So you're going to try to disengage the clock?
I'm going to try to disengage the clock.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Chloe, wish me luck. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a fuck about what I'm doing here.
No, this is life and death.
Armor.
Okay. So then thieves tools is dex plus proficiency. So that's 28.
28.
Damn, girl.
Okay. With a 28, you do not release the orbs of anti-life from the clock.
I could have died here.
However,
cool.
Suddenly on the clock, because you've activated the trap, but you've done it in such a way that like the timer appears, and there's these spectral hands on the clock that appear, and they're winding around, and they hit like the one stops at the 12 and the other one stops at the like the 5 or the 3, and you can see it.
Oh my god, it's counting down.
You got 45 seconds.
Right.
Go. The false panel, please.
Okay, so you go to the false panel, you click it open. So within the false panel, there is another locked chamber, but then there's a pallet that has like 3 or 4 papers, one of them rolled up, a bag of money, and then there is a locked chamber within here as well.
Try to unlock the thing.
Go ahead. That's what's 6 of the 45 seconds. You can go ahead and make a thieves' tool attempt.
Oh my god. Scout. I'm stressed. I'm very stressed.
I can tell.
Just smash the desk.
No.
You're not helping me.
It's like, you got these, Jace. You got
23.
23.
Wait,
okay.
Guidance. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead and
Guidance. What'd you roll with it?
25? Oh, 25. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're working, and you hear the click, and it swings open. You did not have time or probably an inclination to reduce the trap here.
No, I don't care about. I've already set up one trap. I don't have time for this.
So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Fine.
I thought my thing was stressful.
Dice roll. The fuck is my con saving throw? I think it's just a +2. 19.
Okay, good. So good news. There's a puff of gas. You are not paralyzed by the gas.
Jesus Christ, this man!
But you do take 7 points of poison damage from the gas.
Am I poisoned?
You are not, because you succeeded on your because the effect of this is poisoned, paralyzed, and the point being, you do this, you're paralyzed, that trap goes off.
Yes.
This is what happens when you don't have magic in D&D. You go fucking balls to the walls.
Because he is just a commoner, but he has now the money to defend himself.
I was going to say, remember we were like, haha, Yusef only has a little bit of HP. This is why we can't just attack him, guys. This is why.
Yusef having low HP, but I still will.
Yeah, but you do find in this one, there is a crumpled and kind of slightly torn at the edges, smaller picture or painting And there is a pawn piece.
Ooh.
He's that low? Wow, embarrassing for him.
He has a pawn to give out. To divvy to someone else.
I don't know, dude. My world's being shattered right now. Shit. Oh god, do I take stuff? I set off every trap. I have to start taking stuff. I take the pawn piece. I take the papers that were there on top of it. I'm gonna go put out the fire and steal the stone.
You're gonna go put out the fire and steal the stone?
Just reach through the fire, right?
If I'm taking everything, I gotta take everything.
So that's 18. Getting to the fire, 18 seconds. You have probably one attempt at this.
That's fine. I'm gonna put up. Oh, can I just reach through the fire?
You can. You'll burn yourself, but sure.
That's fine. I'll take it.
How are you trying to remove the stone? Your dagger or whatever. You can do it with these tools too.
I was gonna say there should be, if it's a fireplace, there should be one of those little shovels for the fireplace right next to it.
You can do that too.
I'll use my thieves tools because that's gonna give me proficiency with it.
Cool. Are you shoveling out the fire first, or are you just going through? Because one will take time, the other one will cause pain.
I take the pain, baby.
Okay, go ahead and roll your thieves tools check. You take 6 points of fire damage.
I'm gonna have a heart attack this session.
It's crazy, yeah.
Oh no, Jace, don't make that face. Don't you have guidance still?
A 1?
Not
okay.
1?
No, I rolled a 1.
So that's 30 seconds. You have 15 more seconds. You can try again.
I'm gonna try again.
Okay. You take
out of the room!
You take another 4 points of fire damage.
How much did I take the first time?
6,
Sorry.
So that's 10
6.
total.
Okay, hold on, everybody. I have to update this.
Oh, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Holy fuck.
The dogs are very upset right now. The energy that I'm putting into this room.
They sense it. They're like, danger.
Well, actually, Chloe's sleeping through this. I don't know.
Chloe's not.
Scout's upset. So 10 damage. Okay. I'll try one more time.
Okay. That takes you down to 9 seconds.
I said thieves tools with this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
30.
Okay. Your hand burning, you fit the tool behind, and you feel the pop as the gem releases from its hold and pops out. There's a cavity behind it that it was hiding. You blindly reach in as a free action and grab whatever was in there, palm it.
Mm-hmm.
You have 9 seconds to make it wherever you're going to get out of this room, whether you go this way or out the window.
Out the window, please!
Okay, so bonus action, are you activating your wings?
Uh-huh.
Bonus action, activate wings. Head to the window. Do you open it or you just go through it?
Oh, open the window. I'm not.
So
that's actually. I mean, I've made enough of a mess in here. Might as well fuck up the window.
You go through the window. You barrel through the windows. This crash, and it's like this. It's the slow motion, like Cowboy Bebop, as he's thrown out of the top floor, and like the Ballad of Fallen Angels. The Ballad of Fallen Angels is playing as Mars kind of falling out.
My hat, and I would like to go. Anansi, can you please cast that invisibility?
So like it took 6 seconds for you to run to the window and get out. And so as you're falling out, like you fall past the frame of the window and it's like 1, 2, 3. And then you just see this burst of purple and black energy in the room and then shoot out the window and then dissipate into the night. And then you are like the twinkling glass is falling around you as you turn and start gliding down wherever you're taking yourself. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh my god, what was this session? We're demoted from parents. We're not fit to be parents anymore. I'm sorry.
I just want to state for the record.
I set up all the traps, so he was just going to go move everything.
No,
you did the right thing.
I just want to state for the record that Kaimana and I are the ones who did the least bad stuff today.
It was because Juri and I did too good at games.
We did too good at
We got
games.
too big for our britches.
We flew too close to the sun. We had to get smacked.
I will say that, Mar, the final image is like as you're floating away, you look down at whatever was palmed into your hand from that hole in the wall. You turn it around, and it is a old, used king piece.
Oh, would you look at that?
I fucking knew it. Ace, say that I knew this. Ace, go on record.
Yes,
Wow.
of course. You know everything, Chase.
I'm on record saying this in Bespoke.
This
Some random
sneaky
coffee
bastard.
citizen knows that.
Yeah, it's like all of the bishop, all the chess pieces you've been finding are this beautiful new carved like wormwood, like gorgeous. This looks like it was carved 20 years ago and is beat up and old and like. Whereas the other piece you found was more was newer.
Yep.
Oh god.
Yep. I knew that pawn was fake. I was like, he had to have been higher.
But you didn't find the bishop piece. But yeah.
We found something worse, Josh. That's worse.
I need to go have a heart attack now, you guys.
I know.
Right. So we'll pick up there.
Holy
next time.
shit.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Bye.